So the Miami Heat beat the 76ers last night 99-90 to win the series in 6, and the Heat are now going on to the conference finals. And I gotta admit, I'll give credit to the Heat. I doubted them in my Eastern Conference predictions video, and I said they weren't a contender only because I thought they wouldn't beat the Bucks, which still could remain to be seen. But I got to give them credit. They've been playing very well. Max Strus has been amazing for them. And it's funny they could take Duncan Robinson out of their lineup and then they'll still be completely fine, maybe even better. Oladipo's came in and played well for them. The Heat just have so much depth. You can just tell they just win because they're just a much deeper team. There's so much better development talent almost in the entire rest of the league. So I give them credit. They're playing very well. Jimmy Butler is getting back to like just about bubble form when he was taking over in the playoffs. And it seems like he really enjoyed being his former team, saying this going to the locker room.
Tobias Harris over me?
So yeah, I give all credit to Miami Heat. They play very well. But this video is going to be more about the Sixers and the Sixers collapse. Now, I don't really want to make too many excuses. We all can fall into times when we make excuses for our teams. And while I'm not a 76er fan per se, I don't want to make excuses for him either. But at the same time, Joel Embiid was hurt, and you can tell, and he was exhausted and tired. And that's understandable when he fractures his orbital, needs surgery on his thumb or whatever finger he fractured. And he had a lot of injuries to deal with. So I'm going to give Joel Embiid a pass. I may want to talk about James Harden, and it's not just James Harden before I get into this, because I feel like I was telling my friends, I was watching the game with my friends, and I was telling them, I feel like I'm watching a regular season game. Like, that's how little effort I saw from the Sixers, except from Tyrese Maxey, who actually played very well and gave it all he had on the court. But it seemed like when the Sixers, it seemed like they were sad and took the loss kind of bad on the bench when they already lost. But I didn't see that urgency from them on the court. And yeah, getting back to James Harden, and I'm not gonna bash James Harden because I think we should expect this at this point. James Harden has not been the player to really take over in the playoffs. He's kind of shrunk in the playoffs in big moments, even going back to previous Warriors series and the Spurs, and he has a history of falling apart in big games. But this just seems like James Harden is officially not the player he used to be, rather than he just didn't show up in the playoffs. And I think all the struggles he's having, because he's still a great facilitator, probably one of the best in the league still, but it seems like all the problems he's had scoring is just revolving around one thing, and that he's just not as explosive as he used to be. That first step is just not the same, and it was so crucial to his game because that's what set up everything else. You couldn't stay in front of him, so that opened up the step back. And now that Oladipo was main guard him last night, Oladipo had no problem staying in front of him, and he was just all over because of it. The step back doesn't create the same separation he used to, and because of that, he can't even get into the lane. He can't get to the free throw line. So James Harden might not at 32. I think he's 32. At 32, he's just not the player that he used to be. And that's not saying he still can't be a great player. I think he's still gonna be an all-star player, but he's not gonna be the Houston Rockets scorer used to be, as Joel Embiid even admitted. But yeah, for him to score 11 points and to not score in the second half, only taking 2 shots, it's a bad look. And watching that game, how I said before, it really looked like he just didn't care. Not to say he didn't, but that's at least what it looked like. And for being an Eagles, not a Sixers fan, but being an Eagles fan, I know how the Philly fans can get. I don't think this is going to go over too well as far as James Harden perception in Philadelphia. Yeah, guys, I would like to know your thoughts on the game. Are the Sixers done? Can the Sixers rebound from this? It might seem like an exaggeration to say that the Sixers might be done, but who knows? We'll have to just see what happens. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.